So we're going to get some reaction on ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa's comments on the economy yesterday. I'm joined by Professor Jannie Rossouw. He's your interim head at the Wits Business School. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. So Ramaphosa has said he would work on progressive policies that would work for all. So we've been hearing this kind of sentiment since the RDP in 1994, GEAR in 1996, ASGISA in 2005, the New Growth Path in 2010, and then the NDP in 2013. Is there a cause to celebrate some of the announcements he made yesterday?
Well, President Ramaphosa repeated some of the announcements he made before, but what is important yesterday is he made announcements about spectrum auction, which is a very positive development. He also emphasized focus on localization. He called it local material and labor must be used. What I would have wanted him to say in that context is that the government will in the future only buy vehicles manufactured in South Africa for cabinet, for central government departments, for provincial government departments and local government. That will be a major boost to the South African economy. Then he made a remark about project bonds and green infrastructure bonds that we do not quite understand. We need more clarity on that. But then the very positive thing, as he said, now the focus is on implementation, implementation, implementation. And that's a very positive focus.
Let's go to the issue you raised about the telecom spectrum. That issue, again, is something that's been dealt with for years. It's come up again. It's been a long road to get here. How will that long-awaited auction and what will that do for South Africa's economy?
Well, it will help people to have quicker and easier access to the internet, for instance. We've all realized during this lockdown period how important connectivity is at all sorts of levels. I mean, today we are talking through connectivity to one another, something that we would not have done 2 years or even 6 months ago. So from that perspective, it will help to boost economic activity. And in terms of implementation, the ANC as a ruling party does not have to go much further than looking at the National Treasury prepared about a year ago.
Professor Rossouw, infrastructure was also named as the main driver of growth. Take us through how this will work and how investing in infrastructure is set to grow our economy.
Well, investing in infrastructure will have to be labor intensive to stimulate our economy because we face a very major unemployment problem in South Africa. If we can use infrastructure to employ more people, that would help to stimulate the economy with a multiplier effect in spending. That will then also help to increase the taxes that the government can collect from the economy. And the president has also said that there will be a focus on limiting government debt. I can only take that as limiting government debt as a percentage of GDP. So if GDP grows faster, that will help us to limit government debt. But the important point here is the private sector should be allowed to take the lead rather than to try and drive this from the government sector, because that will again open the door for corruption and maladministration.
Yeah, that issue of corruption, of course, corruption is not limited only to government. It's widespread, and both the private sector and public sector enable each other when it comes to corruption. Can you talk to us about how corruption impedes growth in South Africa outside of rhetoric? How does it impact growth?
Well, because of corruption, South Africa is a less attractive investment destination internationally. Less international investors are prepared to invest in South Africa because we are tainted by corruption. And if we can get corruption out of the way, we will attract more foreign investment, which will help us to grow our economy. At the same time, businesses in South Africa are wary to do business with the government and with one another. Because as you've rightly said, corruption is no longer only a government problem, but it's a government and private sector problem. Businesses are wary of one another because they don't know when they will be caught out having dealt with a corrupt business, a business that has been in corrupt dealings before, and more businesses can get tainted. So businesses are more hesitant to trust one another in doing business in South Africa.
Professor Jannie Rossouw, the interim head at the Wits Business School, thanks so much for your time on SABC News this afternoon.
Thank you.